Depends. We're going to start on component two. So, for most of you, I've got your work in, and I'm just working through marking the rest of it for component one, learning aim B. So we're going to move on to component two and looking at learning aim A. And I'm just going to go through the brief with you and just explain what we're going to do for this new unit. So we're just concentrating on learning aim A. And this is where you are going to show some of your media production skills that you have a little bit of a practice with last term. So what is it we're asking you to do on this unit? Well, we'd like you to create a magazine design. So this is called Magazine Design Skills Development, and it's called Reimagine. And this is the scenario that we want you to do. I'm just going to take you through it. Are you the next new talented media producer? So Teen Scene Media are running a competition to discover the next generation of talented teenage media producers. In this project, you will need to use the skills to develop a magazine cover and double page article, or DPS. And we're using Photoshop, which you've used before, and InDesign by choosing one of the three briefs outlined below to respond to. So this is what we are asking you to do. You've got to choose one of these magazines that you would like to take forward and produce a front cover for, and a double page spread. So the first magazine that you could potentially produce a cover and DPS for is something called Vibe magazine. So you produce a cover and double page spread article featuring a new up and coming grime artist for Vibe magazine. Your cover and article must feature a 16-year-old unsigned grime artist from Hull who has received rave reviews of their music after uploading it to YouTube and having had over 500,000 streams on SoundCloud. So if you were going to choose this magazine to do, grime, you probably know more than me about grime, but it's very much British based. It's quite London based as well. It's a little bit of sort of urban rap. You're probably laughing at me now because you probably know more. People like Dizzy Rascal often puts himself into the grime genre category. So if you were going to choose Vibe magazine, you would be looking at creating a front cover and a DPS. And your DPS, there'll probably be an interview with it about a 16-year-old unsigned grime artist, and a little bit about how they maybe got into grime music, what it was like possibly living in Hull and the grime scene in Hull, and what's it like actually having over 500,000 streams. So maybe it's, him or her as a young person getting into the grime music, and what their life's like, and what they want for the future. So possibly something like that, and the front cover I think would be reflective of the grime artist, maybe close-up shot, medium shot of the grime artist. Obviously, the grime artist would be you or maybe someone else in the class if they're very nice and they let you take their picture. So that's the first one. Vibe magazine, that's something that you could do if you're into grime music, or you might be into sports and you want to choose UK Sport magazine. Asking you to produce a cover and double page spread article featuring a sports person about to hit the big time in professional sport for UK Sport magazine. So your cover on your article must feature a 16-year-old sports person on the brink of turning professional in their chosen sport, having already represented their county and country at under 16 level. So this one, if you were choosing UK Sport, the sports person, any sport, you could decide what sport it was. It could be a new up-and-coming 16-year-old footballer or a rugby player. Last year I had someone who was an ice hockey player, actually. So it's up to you, or it could be netball or badminton or table tennis, whatever sport you wanted to concentrate on. But it would be an article about a 16-year-old, and it would be that they have, how they started maybe in the particular sport, how they were chosen for the county, maybe something to do with what it was like at school and how their teachers saw the potential in them, and then what it was like them representing the county and maybe the tournaments they went into, and what it was like in turn representing the country and maybe where they've gone in the world to represent the country at under 16 level. Again, like maybe for the front cover, you would see someone on there, maybe a medium shot or a long shot, someone in their sports gear holding rugby ball or netball or whatever. It could be a gymnast in a particular pose. So that's maybe something you want to think about for UK Sport magazine. Wired magazine is you've got to produce a double page spread and cover featuring a social media or YouTube personality. With a growing audience for the magazine. So the cover and article must feature a 16-year-old social media YouTube personality who has over 100,000 subscribers, likes in their chosen area. So it could be a game vlogger, it could be some fashion vlogger, beauty demonstrations, hair demonstrations, singer, crafter, doing tutorials. So this is someone who has become or is becoming a little bit famous on YouTube, becoming a little bit of an influencer maybe on YouTube and social media. And it depends what area you want to go into. So if you chose Wired Magazine, it might be that you're choosing someone who is going to be a game vlogger, maybe someone who tests games or will review games for a particular industry or just the games that they like. Maybe this is someone who is influential in the fashion world. Maybe it's a young person that is looking at latest fashions, or maybe it's looking at second-hand fashion or looking at retro fashion, or looking at affordable fashion for young people. Beauty demonstrations, there's loads of beauty demonstrations on YouTube. So this could be someone who is going to show you how to do particular makeup styles. They're maybe going to review face masks or particular eyeshadows or mascara. Struggling a bit on that because I don't wear a lot of makeup. But yeah, there's loads of beauty demonstrations, how to do particular styles and contouring and highlighting and all that stuff. It could be a particular singer on YouTube that's becoming quite famous. Justin Bieber was found on YouTube. So it could be that you're a singer for a particular genre, or that you may be a crafter. Maybe you're a young crafter that's getting into it and making particular types of products. So lots of different vloggers are seen on YouTube, and it's actually something that you might be following yourself. It might be that you are wanting to do a vlogger on anime, for instance. Maybe you have your own YouTube channel as well. Maybe you're someone who reviews films. So it could be that you're producing a front cover and a page spread featuring a particular vlogger in a particular area, in a particular genre. So 3 magazines, you decide which one you would like to work in. Remember, this project is going to take a little bit of time as well. So you're ultimately going to produce a front cover and a double page spread for either a grime artist or for either a sports person or for some type of social media or YouTube personality. But it will have to fit into one of these 3 magazines. And these are all real magazines, by the way. These are all magazines that are out there in the world. You may have heard of them. So that's what you need to do for this section. For component 1A, you are going to produce a front cover of a magazine and a double page spread. So that's it from me, just explaining that first little bit of the brief. I hope that makes sense. Okay, see you.